All right, we're going. It's before the mix.
Oh, we're on. That's cool. Cool.
How are you?
I'm okay, man. How are
Lorian, say what's up. Lorian's leaving internet world. We're gonna get started on our show. It's snowing outside here in Worcester, and we have a special guest who Rayvon's gonna introduce. So we'll get into our mix here in our radio show.
What up, y'all? You're now listening to Infused Influence, where we're infused by weed culture, cannabis business, and its politics through conversations with special guests. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
All right, we are back with another episode of Infused Influence. It is almost been 4 years strong, Rayvon. Did you know it?
Yeah.
I believe it was January 2022.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Who was the first? Was it Harriet Chandler? Was she the first?
She was the first, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
2022 January.
Epic.
Shout out to Harry.
Shout out to Harry
That's funny.
and Harriet Chandler,
That's
Senator Chandler. How are you today, though, bro?
Excuse me. As you guys know, I love inclement weather. However, Rayvon drives an Nissan Altima, and so going out in inclement weather is like boo-hoo. So I'll say probably like say a 7.2 out of 10 today.
It's not bad.
No, it's not terrible. No, the
Not
guest we
terrible,
have
bro.
today is a little eccentric. You'll see the moment the camera's on him. We've got our special guest, Kyle Hamilton, today. What's going on, Kyle?
Kyle.
What's going on?
What's up,
Welcome
bro?
to the show, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I mean, you gotta give us some context, though, bro. Like,
Oh, man. Here's the
How,
thing.
how am I eccentric?
yeah, seriously, bro. Where is he from?
So
What does he do?
it's funny because Kyle, I've known Kyle through a few different places or for quite some time now.
Oh, word?
We've been working together. And I say eccentric because, so in my job, people come and they visit me and they're like, oh, hey, is Rayvon there? I want to talk to him, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, some people I chat with, some people I'm not able to. I was able to chat with Kyle. And one of my favorite things about Kyle is that he is unapologetic, and I say this so respectfully, he is unapologetically himself. Which makes sense.
Clap it
Or
up
like
for
a lot of wholesalers, a lot of people will try to talk to me in a way that makes it seem like I got to get on his level and talk to him in his way to like get his attention, whatever. And Kyle is like, bro, I'm gonna be me. You fuck with me or you don't, and that's about it. And so Kyle, as you can maybe now tell, is a cannabis wholesaler in the cannabis industry. However, he is much more than just a wholesaler. He's a cultivation guy, cultivation expert. He can do a lot of stuff in this industry. He grows his own stuff. He makes his own oils. I got some oil out home from Kyle right now.
That's
like
what's up.
he bought diapers for Theo. Like Kyle is the
think
man.
about the baby. Let's take another moment to say what's up.
Absolutely.
What's up?
What's going
Crowd
on,
goes
young Theo?
wild.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Theo's wearing diapers that Kyle bought right now.
They're not
So-
Carhartts yet.
No, not yet. Not yet. But he's
Oh, could
definitely
you
sent me
imagine
links.
that, bro?
They make them like little Carhartt like
Diapers?
Things. Yes, sir.
Stop it.
Little like
It's like size 6 or something.
yeah,
it
like the
starts at.
disposable, like the ones that you wash. Types.
Oh, okay, they're reusable. That makes
Yeah.
more sense, bro. I'm like, there's
Yeah.
no way.
Oh yeah, no. If I
someone's
was getting
throwing
them like Huggies X Carhartt,
yeah,
that'd
yeah.
be crazy.
That'd be crazy. But that
Oh.
doesn't fit their brand if they were disposable. If you just throw them away,
It doesn't. No, it's
they're
it's
gonna
funny
start
you
a new
mentioned that.
trend, bro.
That'd be so awkward. Yeah, a little on brand.
Yeah.
And so having Kyle here, very excited to have you here, Kyle. Welcome.
Thank you. Man.
Kyle currently works at Can Alive Genetics with Todd up in Boston, correct?
Holyoke.
Holyoke.
but yeah.
Holyoke?
It's another. Yeah, you're right.
Boston.
I'm a dummy. Holyoke.
Yeah,
Holyoke,
wrong way.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah,
really,
tomato,
you know?
tomato. I went up there about 2 years ago with Liam. It's a small grow, very, 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 very like two
Small.
people touching it.
Really? Yeah.
Another
What's the
social
square
equity
footage?
business.
Like 800 technically.
Oh, word.
And for a long time, we were the smallest grow in Massachusetts, but I only found out recently, now there's someone who's got 750. And I'm like, oh, he stole my line now. So they're like slightly smaller.
Yeah. Is that considered micro?
Oh, yeah.
It's
We're
micro
grow.
business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Are
Okay.
you guys social equity or an equity
no.
form of equity?
No,
by any
no, we're not.
chance?
I think we're just a micro.
Just a micro. Yeah.
When I went up there 2 years ago, the owner of their business, Todd, was very heavy on like working with equity brands, working with black businesses. They do a lot of equity events in Boston, if I'm not mistaken. By the way. Stop me when I'm wrong.
No, that's why I'm
but a
being
lot
quiet.
of
I'm like, yeah,
events.
right on. You do it for me.
Well, I mean, this is your podcast, brother. So, knowing that we've got such a history, and I mean, you work for Can Alive now. I know that you were with a different brand prior to. I'd kind of like to get into the history of you and cannabis. Like, where does this start, bro?
The before times.
The before
What do you
times.
mean? Yeah.
And before we even get there, who are you? Who is Kyle?
Well, let's start there. My name is Kyle. Hello. I've been, like you said, unapologetically myself my whole dang life.
Since I was in the womb.
Yeah, and like I tell myself like, well, that's what cool is like really when you embrace yourself. But like growing up, no, not super cool until you're an adult. But like, yeah, you just you find what you like, you do what you like, you be nice, you be honest, you try and be good to other people. It's all the basic stuff that like. Heck, religion's been preaching forever. Be nice to others. Like, yeah. Like that's kind of how I like to try to operate. It's how I bring it into sales and into cannabis as well. And that like, it's always about radical empathy. It's about actually listening to people and finding out what they need. Because especially when you do sales, everybody treats you like you're a car salesman, like the worst kind,
Or insurance salesman.
Yeah, like, oh, you gotta buy these, Ace. They're the good ones. Like it's this whole weird little song and dance where people just treat you like to your face. They might be somewhat respectful, but they're like, yeah, you sell eighths, right? Like there's a little bit of a market out there. It's a little flooded. So like nobody cares, and they think that I'm lying about the little perks or things about any company I've been with, and that's never been me. Like even before cannabis, even just working in food, I won't work for a place if I don't believe in their product. Like so when I worked in food, I worked for a place called Boloco. It was like like a Moe's kind of thing. I don't know if the chain's still around or not.
Never
but
heard of it.
Fantastic food. It was just like a burrito place, and they had a lot of local foods and like this and that. Like it was beautiful. It was a nice place. They treated you well. They paid you well, etc. for the time, and I could believe in that. And then I went over to another restaurant, and there were always places that like did something really right, where I could be proud of it. Where if I'm gonna recommend that you go there to eat, like I'm not gonna send you to some like greasy piece of crap. Like no one's gonna feel good. They're going there once. They're like, oh yeah, thanks Kyle, thanks for taking me there, and oh, I'm gonna go and never come back. Like no, I hate that. Like if I'm gonna give somebody a recommendation, whether it's food or weed or coffee or any of the things, I like to make sure that it's something that makes people happy. That actually is probably the chord where it began with me. I'm a people pleaser. My therapist has talked to me so much about it. And like, I just want to make people happy. I want to make people smile. And I approach that with just trying to be honest and offer some good things. And if you do that, people learn to associate that with you. So then even if they don't know my next brand or my next thing that I'm working on, they know me. And they know I'm not going to work for some, mid factory or something like that.
No, and that's how it went. I remember when you told me that you were like transitioning between jobs. And I remember when you gave me the call, and I was just like, "Shit, man!" And then a week later, he's like, "Yeah, I'm in a new spot," and I'm like, oh, "Okay, brother, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you."
Where were you before?
I was with I don't want to name them. I don't want to give them the publicity.
Did we do business with them?
We did through him, yeah. It was mainly bulk though.
Yeah.
I don't think we took on anything prepackaged meal.
All right, give me the business name. Maybe not the DBA, at least.
No.
Or does they have a corporate name?
They do.
Yeah, do you know what their corporate? I don't know what their corporate name is.
It's Green something, but
Green
that doesn't narrow it
Theory.
down or something like that.
Yeah, it's Green Theory.
But like we didn't part under the best of ways,
Oh,
but like
word.
things were problematic at times, but they still had really good, at the end of the day, clean flower.
Oh.
Their whole thing about not remediating, etc.
Yeah.
And like I really did like the quality of the flowers that they grew. I liked the team. I liked all the people. Everyone I worked with, and like that's honestly been true about this whole industry for me. Is that like you find the good people and like you stick with them and things go well. It's not stressful. So it was a good thing to get me into wholesaling cannabis again here in Mass and kind of actually get known again. Because just before that, I had been working for another company from home for years, and I really like secluded myself, and it was right around with COVID and everything when that was happening at the beginning of the pandemic. So
Cannabis company.
yeah, this was with Green Goddess Supply.
Oh.
They have pipes and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
They
yeah.
also have grow closets, and they would teach people how to grow, and that'd be my job. I
Right.
get to teach other people how to grow weed at home, and it was awesome. Where you get to be paid to be a weed know-it-all, and like not just the issues with cultivation, and there are many, and like dialing that in, but then people have a harvest and like, yeah, so how do I make gummies? I'm like, I got you. And they're like, no, but vegan gummies. I'm like, yeah, I still got you. And they're like, no, but they also have to be sugar free. I'm like, just tell me what you need. I got you. I mean it.
Green Soul's out of Rhode Island, right? Or?
They were originally out of Rhode Island. Green Goddess Supply is out of Hopedale or Ashland, Mass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, wherever it is.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
But I've been kind of out of the scene, so I wasn't doing all the facial connection stuff until I started with that last company before, and like getting out and having people know who I am too much, other than a very small circle. I was very withdrawn, and at the time, truthfully, that was because I was dealing with my mother was kind of not doing great. She had Alzheimer's,
sorry to hear that, bro.
no, man, it's hardships also help you connect with others, because you've gone through those things, and you can relate better when other people have similar issues, or even if it's not a similar issue, but just something that weighs on them that heavily. You can feel that within another person, and like you talk about it, and you can be there, and it's much more sincere. And so it was it was a hard time for me dealing with it, but I was very withdrawn, because before that I had been going out and doing all the normal, all the events at Summit, and going to the Harvest Cup and the NECANs and the Las Vegas MJ BizCon. Shout out to all the people who this week are going to text me thinking I'm a different Kyle at MJ BizCon. I love this time of year. They'd be like, yo, meet me at the Bellagio. And I'm like, I'm in Worcester.
That's so funny.
But no, it's so that's where I've always been, and it's a lot about, like, this is gonna sound so corny, but like, feeling feelings, going through experiences, and then relating to them with people. And because I went through that hardship with my mom, it honestly helped me a lot with how I can talk to people. It got me out of my shell more. I started talking. Even, I won't get into it much on the podcast, but even talking politics and stuff in person with people, I was no longer afraid of it because of the confrontation. It was more about, relate to them. Even if they completely disagree with you, you can find some common ground, because all people want is, like, be happy, healthy, have some money, have some good things, right? Everybody wants that. So you can find some way to relate to them, even if they are just politically antithetical. And, be like, yeah, you know what? Prices are high. And maybe that's where you can agree, like, and then that might be it. But like, you can find things. So going through all that stuff just helped me connect better with people, and that's how I try to see. It's how I'm trying to see all hardships in my life now. It's like, well, this is just gonna help me later on.
Right. So we're this is a quick plug here. It's WICM. We're joined with Kyle. What's your last name again, bro?
Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton. So you mentioned are you born and raised in?
Oh yeah, in Massachusetts. Wonderful suburban life. The son of 2 teachers.
No way.
Yeah. So it was great in many ways, but you also can't get away with shit. If you have 2 teachers for parents, they're just like, oh, like, where's your homework? Why did you answer that? That's not right. We studied this. And I'm like, I know. And I even went to school where they taught at one point in Wellesley.
Wow.
And that even, you can get away with even less, because then they, your English teacher sees my mom in like the lounge and is like, Kyle failed that language test, and tattling on me. But it's I grew up there in Medway, and I've just been around Massachusetts in different areas. I've lived in Brookline and Attleboro and Natick and Barrie and.
As a child or adult?
Oh, as a kid, just Medway.
Just Medway.
Just Medway. Traveling all around. But like, I like seeing different parts of Mass. It's so different. And that's one of the things I love when I started doing wholesale. Get to actually travel to all those spots, find the cool restaurants that are like hidden in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
That's funny. Well, we'll take a quick break and get right back to it in just a second. All right, thank you for sticking with us through the break. This is Infused Influence. I'm one of your co-hosts, Rayvon. I've got my co-host Ulysses with me. What's going on?
What up?
And of course, our special guest, Kyle Hamilton.
Don't applaud, just throw money.
I've been saying we got to get tomatoes for our live audience.
I'd catch a few, yeah.
That's comical.
Yeah.
And so if you missed the first half of the episode, Kyle is a wholesaler here in the cannabis industry. He currently works for Canna Live Genetics, wholesaling the GLD, Go to Sleep. I know I probably pronounced and said it wrong.
How dare you?
But you mentioned something on the first half about connecting with people and like getting back out there as you got into the industry and how you like the traveling across the street, across the state. And it's funny because I had lunch with the wholesaler yesterday who spoke about days on the road and how it's sometimes overrated depending on what you do, how you do it, where you go, who you speak to. And so for you, in terms of connections, like how does a day on the road look for you, if that makes sense?
Well, at least with Canna Live, one of the good news is we're not like, because we are a micro business. We get like 50 pounds every 2.5 months. So I don't gotta hit the road this way that some of the larger operations do, where they gotta see 20, 30 people a week.
Yeah.
But so that alone kind of takes some of the stress off. But I like to approach it where no matter what, I want to see at least a couple people that I'm already doing business with when I'm going to like some section, and then maybe a couple that I haven't that I think are good. And I kind of shop around. I look around to see like what the store sells, what they're like, what the reviews are like. Did people write about them on Reddit? Did people do this? Did people do that? And like just get an idea and a feel for them and like what I'm going into. Sometimes you do like more internet stalking than others if you're trying to find a new brand to, who the heck are they? Or maybe they're a new company or something. But really, I just go out there and just try to be me. It sounds so simple and generic. I'm sorry, but like I pop in on the stores. I not only do the normal sales things of checking in on them, but like I'll make jokes. I'll bring something nice for them. I try to do not just like pizza and coffee and crap like that.
Yeah,
Cookies again from the local, whatever.
You got me beat. Here's a pack of munchkins from next door. You feel me?
Yeah.
I feel that.
Oh my God, it always just kills me when I see that. I'm like, oh, just get a little creative. So I'll bring stuff like from my own. Like this is from my local bakery. I love this. I know the person who made this. I made this infused tea or coffee or something like that, and they'll be like, infused with what? I'm like, no, with botanicals. I know the rules at least that well.
Yeah.
But you hit the road and all right, this is the key thing I tell everybody for sales is at least make one stop for yourself. Do it. Do it. Oh, you got to. Whether it's like a restaurant or like a nice view.
Well, it's funny because that was gonna be my next question. Actually, it's like, what's your potential hole in the wall spot? Like, what's your? I'm going to Springfield today, or I'm going to Pittsfield today, but I know I'm hitting up this restaurant at some point with this buyer, or even by myself.
Yeah, I'll shout out towards the Berkshires. So whenever I go into one of our partners, Divine out there, fantastic, just outside of Great Barrington, and there's this little shop kind of along the way. You gotta go a little off, and it's called Lost Lamb Bakery. And I literally drove by it, and I was like, I'm a lost little lamb. Like
Lost land or lost lamb?
Lamb, bah.
Wow.
And one thing I've also found is that especially out in Western Massachusetts, when you see some tiny restaurant that's not a chain, and they actually have like a queer flag going, it's probably gonna be fire. Like 9 out of 10 times at least. And like I saw that out there, and Lost Lamb, the owner went to France and trained as a baker, and she's so talented, and they have such good food and such good coffee, and like so every time I'm out there, I stop by again, and they started recognizing,
the suspenders.
In fact, actually, I'm wearing one of the sheep. This is their lost little gay sheep, for pride.
That's actually pretty dope.
And that place is it's phenomenal.
Do they sell lamb?
I don't think so. I'm gonna say no.
No?
But they do sell, breakfast sandwiches, that kind of thing. So like maybe they'll have lamb there. I don't know. They
Maybe,
do
yeah.
specialty things.
Yeah.
I don't know them that well because I'm still trying not to like be that weird when I go in. I'll still talk a little bit, but like I if there's a line or something, I can dominate time. I can talk a mile.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to do that to them.
I gotta say, for reference for the radio listeners who aren't necessarily seeing Kyle right now, Kyle is wearing a pair of rainbow suspenders, and he's got a bunch of pins over him.
Oh, yeah.
Rainbow pins on him as well. In fact, when he shows up here and people forget, they're like, "Oh, Ravon, the guy with the suspenders is here." And I'm just like, "Oh, Kyle, all right, bet."
It's working.
Yeah. That's pretty sick. That's pretty dope. And so, for you, those days on the road, I mean, so is that a spot you hit up by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'll hit up by myself, but if I got a company out there that's really nice, I'll buy them some, scones or whatnot for out there. But it's funny that you mentioned the suspenders because, like, that's why I do
Kyle.
it.
Yeah, that's you.
When I went back into the industry, I saw there was more than a few people who have like 1 or 2 pieces of clothing.
You just know him by.
Shout out to Avery for Cowboy Kush, and he's got the hat, and people see the hat and like, that's him, and like it was one of those things. I'm like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. And I also had at the time started wearing suspenders because I got a gut growing still, and belts like pinch my fat belly. You know what I mean? So like you get the suspenders. I was like, oh wow, this is nicer. It's less pressure on my poor gut.
So
That's comical. See, it's funny you say that because I have to adjust and readjust my belt every time I sit up and get up. So I get it. I be getting out of my car and my pants fall down. I'm like, oh god, I gotta put my belt back on.
Yo, that's wild
The belt be
times,
pinching
bro.
you while you're sitting down. Even right now,
Wild
I have
times.
You get some
Bro,
suspenders.
you're not even 30, dude. What the hell?
Dude, I put the belt on really tight,
Yeah.
and then I sit and I'm like, oh, that's metal on my tummy.
Wild
I don't
times,
like
bro.
that. I don't like that.
Get down with the suspenders early. You'll get lots of compliments from old men in parking lots like I do. It's always like some older guy outside of a Home Depot. He's like, excellent suspenders. I like the rainbow, and I'm like, yeah, Mork and Mindy, right? Like or something. I'll make some reference like towards the era, and try. But like I wear these and also the rainbow ones especially because like Canalive is a queer-owned company. I'm also queer as well, and so it's kind of a bit more. It gets the ball going in conversation-wise too. It's another thing to not just remember me by because like, oh yeah, that guy with the suspenders. No one wears suspenders, but also because they're like, oh, the gay suspenders.
The gay suspender.
And I'm like, yes,
Oh, yeah.
that's right. And like, and hopefully they kind of connect it because that's part of our company. We're a
Absolutely.
small company. Like we work. One of our strains, all of our strains have a grant that pays out to local artists and charity groups, and so one of them is the Mass Bears and Cubs for body positivity among the queer community.
Wow.
So we're always working that. So I never have to like kind of hide that aspect at all. Like there's some places, at some stores, you might not always want to walk in that way, but like I'm already selling queer cannabis, so like I need to be known immediately, being like, oh, that's right.
Queer cannabis.
Yeah.
No, 'cause
Absolutely.
Here's the thing: if you were wearing just black suspenders every day, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
All right.
Like it would just be a guy wearing regular suspenders.
Oh, I got like 6 colors now.
I know you gotta have
queer
mad
colors?
patterns.
I got 2 different rainbow ones, but like mostly different colors because I got like formal ones to go with like suits and stuff like that. And then I've also just got a bunch of basic black and brown ones, just that are just my working suspenders. They normally have like extra, like I hold them really tight for the working ones because then you can actually stick stiff into the suspender. I don't know if you can see on the, and you can hold stuff there. It's a nice little extra pocket.
Yeah.
Put your hammers and stuff in there for your working, or should I say your little
Shockingly, yeah.
trim scissors?
Yeah, well, no, I learned that one fast. All you gotta do is be stabbed in the gut once to be like, this was a mistake.
Yeah, bro, I'll never carry scissors in my pocket again. It's an awful decision. Awful decision, bro.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
I've been there a lot.
It's not it. Absolutely not it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'd love to know more about you and the cannabis. I actually mentioned you sell queer cannabis. You are definitely very, very much into cannabis yourself.
Oh yeah.
Where did that love for yourself start?
It started with someone offering a bowl. Back even in towards the end of high school and stuff, my friends who all smoked weed, they were all the hippie theater kid crowd. And
Was this your first time?
Oh yeah.
In Wellesley?
Wellesley. So they had the good weed.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Was it
no,
a
they
little
didn't.
proper?
But that was more just the original exploration and stuff. And it kind of when in college is when you have those moments of being like, oh, my body doesn't hurt. Wait, I had this problem, and now I kind of got over it. And I discovered really, really quickly how when I smoke cannabis, it also helps me process a lot of my emotions and a lot of the things I'm feeling. There's a fancy word for it, and it's common with people who are on the spectrum, and I know I am on it, but I'm not diagnosed, so I can't formally. But whatever the term is,
I'm going to guess synergy, but that's probably wrong.
No, that's a business term.
Yeah, I figured.
That's a LinkedIn word.
The entourage effect works well with me.
No, but it's where I'll have a conversation with someone or something will happen. Like you have some incident, like say a boss yells at you about oh you dummy, why'd you put this away here? Or you have a bad score in a test or whatever thing that goes in life that was stressing me as a student, and I wouldn't know why I still felt off with them until probably later on I'd go smoke that day or that evening and be like, he really shouldn't have talked like that to me. There was a better way to say that. I'm mad because I know this guy for so long. Why was he being disrespectful to me? I should just have a polite conversation. I'd be like, hey man, no, I totally screwed up there, but don't yell at me. You were in front of customers, and like that was kind of embarrassing, you know, or something like that. That's a difficult conversation piece, or you know, you're dating someone and you don't know why. Like, why did we have this fight? And you'd be like, oh man, I realized it's because I was trying to plan this date extra hard on a Friday, and you'd already told me you had this plan with your mom, and you were gonna do this, or you know, whatever kind of thing. And it feels like I'm just like catching up, suddenly being like, oh. That's why everyone got real quiet. You know, like it was one of those instances. So I started there and like using it, and real quickly, because it was such an instant cure for me, or such a way for me to process my feelings or feel better, that I was like, well, I have to know more. Like, I don't want to have to buy the $20 brownie from the guy. I want to be able to make the brownies, and then it only cost me $10. You know, like, you know, etc.
So I started safer too.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually it's funny enough. We make fun of sometimes how like a lot of customers buy off of whatever's the cheapest thing, but like that was motivation for me too. It's like I needed to save money. Like the first time I bought a pound was because I had like 10 other people who all wanted like a $200 ounce. We were like, oh, only $200 for the fire. That's gonna be awesome. And we went in and spent like $4,000 to get that pound. The good old days, $4,000 weed. And that's kind of jump started. I became really quickly also known for being the guy who knows about that. You know, people would literally pay me, be like, Kyle, I have like a zip. Can you turn this into cookies, but infuse olive oil and not,
amazing,
you know, butter? And I started with that. And like, who knows how to roll a joint? I learned. Like, okay, who knows how to roll a blunt? I learned. Probably not as well as you.
Yeah, we will find out soon.
Yeah.
Psychopath over here.
Yeah.
He actually hit me up after last week's episode. He was like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna be in your city soon. Pull out a Brothers Broadleaf blunt and let's get to it." And I was like, "Damn, bro, I'm not around anymore."
Yeah.
But that's funny. So you mentioned, you know, the rolling, all this stuff, getting into it in college. At what point did you realize, like, oh shit, I can bake? Like, oh shoot, like, and how did you learn to roll?
It actually kind of clicked when one of my friends made a joke once, when once again hiring me to like do stuff for them. They're like, how do I get keef? And I was like, get a bunch of shitty weed and trim, and we're gonna make keef, you know. And I was walking them through the whole steps, and they're like, wow, Kyle, you went to school for computer science? And I'm like, yeah, and theater, you know, computer science and theater. And they're like, yeah, you went to school for weed.
Yeah.
And like, and it felt that way. I went to college for weed. I learned so much there, and learned that's when I started, you know, really cultivating, was like at the beginning of college. And like,
Where did you go?
oh, I went into like for college?
Yeah.
Muhlenberg College in Pennsylvania. Beautiful school. Middle of nowhere, Allentown.
Yeah.
Beautiful school. It was great for theater and science and stuff like that. But yeah, we used to smoke behind the dean's house. It was great.
I mean, the theater's practically a given with Kyle, which is so hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, can't you tell?
Well, that's funny. With you and your eccentric self, we've got to have you back next week. We will take a little break here, and I got so many more
So
questions.
many
for
more
you.
questions.
Like, no, like
Yeah.
so many more questions. Bro. I gotta fire them off sooner.
Yeah. No, that's cool,
Yeah,
bro.
my answers inspire questions, I know.
All right. Well, to our radio listeners, you guys have just been infused. We'll see you next week. To our live streamers, we're still right here. Don't fucking go nowhere.
Time to play some games.
This is for real now. I'm gonna swear belligerently so it doesn't have to get AI edited. The fuck is up? Yeah. So
Back,
in fact,
bitch. I'm back.
yeah, come on now. Price just went up.
Heck yes.
Yeah.
Does that count? Does that count?
Yes, sir. So one thing I forgot to mention to you is that the radio show we do is for NPR. So like it's going to people who aren't us, if that makes sense. The listeners are like typically in their 50s or older. So yeah,
That's lovely.
so yeah, everything gets edited out, but like,
Yeah.
that's not a live stream. You feel me?
Okay.
But now we're gonna get into some of our games. Kyle already knows a little bit about our games because he's watched some episodes. However, Kyle here brings his own game to us
Oh, damn.
himself.
I did.
Would you like to describe your game? Or would
yeah.
you like to get into ours?
So, I'll pull up mine
shit.
first.
Oh, damn. I thought that was yours, bro.
I brought a whole bag of tricks. It's an ASMR podcast
ASMR.
now.
Rachel's gonna love this. Little Trader
Trader
Joe's.
Joe's.
Yeah, shout out Trader Joe's. Great appetizers, and apparently they even sell like whiskey now. They have like their own brand of everything.
Yeah.
When they can, they're gonna have their own weed brand. You watch out.
That's cool. I'm
so-
convinced the place is fake.
So your choice here of rolling trays, whichever you prefer.
The one that's not used.
Okay. Yeah, this one's heavily used. Nice.
I mean, they're all used actually.
Shout out Salty Jewelry. Love that she has this. And so what I do for a lot of different pop-ups is like I'll have rolling classes and I have a bunch of fancy rolled joints, and if people want to learn how to roll them or get tips on how to roll a joint, I help a lot of people learn that stuff. But then you always meet that one person who will walk in and be like, yeah, I already can roll joints. So I say, better than me.
Is this a joint rolling contest that we're about to get into?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Let me
get
the
it.
papers. I'm sorry I don't have blunts. You're going to have to deal with that. Is Roz okay, or do you have a preference?
I don't have a preference, bro.
Great. Grab your weapon, prepare it however you want for that. I'll start passing out. And this is all hemp, and I got the COAs and everything to prove it. I learned to carry that one as well. And so we'll all start with the same stuff, and we'll have a joint rolling competition. It's fastest smokable joint, okay? So it's not like it's got to be perfect. You got to have some flawless. This is going to burn perfect joint. This is fastest smokable joint, okay?
No filter?
No filter. We're gonna make this quick because it's always like a 30, 40 second kind of game. Really, is that good?
That's smooth for me.
All right. Yeah, and this hemp is so old, so it's extra hard to roll right now.
Bro, it smells extra hay.
It's not bad. Get some good hemp. I make sure to do that too, so people smell like the weed stuff. And so I'll do this competition, and so we'll start off, we'll put the papers down, we'll have it right in front of it, and whoever can roll the first fastest smokable joint wins. And typically in the dispensaries, like, to get them to play this with me, I'm like, I'll throw $10 down on whatever you're purchasing. It doesn't have to be my brand or nothing. And that's when people start getting wary. They're like, "How fast can you roll?" I'm like, "Well, let's play a game." Because our whole thing's with pop-ups. We want to do something different. I don't want to just be that guy standing there being like, "Do you like weed? I like weed too. You want to talk about my weed?" Like, no one cares. If I have something interesting and interactive, people care more, and it's fun. It gets a lot of attention too. There's a little bit of a song. You'll find out. So. We're going to start off. You got your papers ready? You got everything? You can have it all lined up, but you can't be touching it. Hands above the tray. We'll count down, and then the roll-off begins, okay? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Roll off, roll off, roll off. Can you beat the master? Can you roll one faster? Roll off, roll off. I am almost winning. You are just beginning. Roll off, roll off. Roll off, roll off, roll off.
Done.
Oh, you're lucky because mine came undone. I was sitting there waiting for you, and that's part of it. But like, this is how I lose the most. It's like I'm done, and then I unraveled it because I licked too hard.
Done.
I was
But
gonna say done, but you guys were talking. I finished 6
Done.
seconds later.
all right,
Done.
the record holds. Ulysses can roll a fast
I
joint.
like to roll mine like fingers. These bitches thick.
Yeah.
Look
I
at
mean, I
that.
took that as a strategy to not roll a fat
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
There was
Quick
no
one,
rules
yeah.
around that, but
Yeah. I will say, and this isn't just me cheating because it's my game, but I did roll it faster, but mine came unraveled, so I
Nice.
lost. So like, I would have had to throw $10 down, but
That's cool.
you're not buying anything.
I was gonna say, has you ever have to pay someone the $10?
I do, and it's almost always like an OG. It'll
can
be
I see the COA?
Oh, COAs? Yeah. So, there's a few.
Thank you, bro.
So the problem is it's always like some guy with a walker. It's always some OG who comes in. They're like, I've rolled a joint or two, and then they literally just pick it up with the paper, lick it once, and put it down immediately. And like it's done in less than 4 seconds, and I can't compete with that. Like it's that's phenomenal.
Oh, it's some old hemp.
Oh yeah, this is some old hemp.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. Like
Nah, that's cool, bro. That was dope.
No one's ever brought us a game.
Yeah.
Anybody watching right
That's
now,
cool.
this is the standard. You feel me?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
more people need to bring games. Come on, game.
Yeah. This weed smells a lot different.
Good.
We got some smalls here this week. I'm sure you're familiar with it.
Oh, am I gonna have to guess the weight?
Yes, sir.
Oh boy, I'm so bad at this.
Here we go, bro.
All right. What do we got here?
So we've done shake before. We've done big ass nugs. This is popcorn. Nice intimate bag.
All right, let's get the ASMR moment. Okay. I got this.
Ah, that smells like weed.
It's weedish.
Not him.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, do you have your number?
I do. I'm gonna, cause I know you can't go over, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm prepared.
Okay.
Look at this. I'm gonna say that is 16 grams.
Ooh, okay. I'm glad you went that way because I was gonna go with 20. Ooh. I know this is some dense flour.
It is dense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those are
just-
both
there's
your
so
final
much-
answers?
It's just so much ground up at the bottom.
There is.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Here's the answer right here for the internet. If you guys can see that, 25.
Damn.
Oh.
See, I wanted to go into, you said
You're-
16 and you threw me off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
You're
23.
closer.
So you
Man.
got that one, Rayvon.
Oh man.
So shout
Almost
out.
an ounce.
You know what? We gotta shout out Kyle for bringing a game, and then Rayvon, of course, for winning that last
on
one.
now.
So-
Oh, I haven't won a single game yet, though. Like even lost my own game.
It might have been the singing, bro. You didn't seem pretty concentrated.
That's part of it is to throw the other person off. You didn't care. Oh, I thought this was gonna throw you, Ulysses. I really
Nah, bro.
did.
Bro.
Damn,
Nah, bro.
underestimated.
I kind of miss it, man. I stopped smoking for like a year, so I haven't rolled up in a minute.
Oh,
Yeah,
not
so
bad,
I
man. You still
appreciate
got
that.
it. You
a little
still
bit,
got
bro.
it.
A little bit. So you know the next game though.
Oh, is this the name the strains?
Yeah. So you can redeem yourself here.
Yeah.
36 is hard though, bro. That's Rayvon.
Did he really?
Yeah, that's what I don't even remember it, bro.
Hey,
Like
nah,
I gotta
nah,
play
nah.
it back because
Hey,
he's
nah.
like, hey, I did it. I was like, what, bro?
Let's check the records.
Yo.
Let's go to YouTube. Let's
Right,
find
it's on
old episodes.
YouTube.
And like, how does it count too? If I just say gelato, is that like 10 strains or
No,
not?
you can
Nah,
just
you
name the
gotta say-
variations,
you
bro.
gotta say all of them.
You gotta say all of
Gelato
them.
33, Gelato 41.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now you're just throwing me off. I know those aren't the numbers.
Yeah, come on now.
33, yeah, that's the Larry Bird.
Shout out Larry Bird. And
Yeah.
then the people who make this, Twisted Growers, they grow a Gelato 41, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
I might be
then,
wrong.
note to self when I talk about gelato.
Yeah.
41.
Just say Gelato
Runs.
33,
Just say
34.
runs, bro. Name all the runs, bro.
And I might have said Obama runs during mine. I found a pack of Obama runs on the streets.
Yeah.
It's the funniest shit in the world. They got Obama smoking a blunt on a Mylar bag. This shit
Yeah.
is hilarious, bro.
This Obama runs,
Oh, man.
man.
I want to be able to see the countdown.
Oh, well, I mean, I do a timer
Oh,
on my
yeah.
phone.
Okay.
You wanna, I
Yeah,
can
you
right
put
in
it
front
here?
of
I was
us.
gonna say,
Perfect.
bro, you bought a timer in that
Okay.
bag?
See, I'm prepared for this because
You were practicing.
a little, yeah. But there's also it's gonna sound like the scene like when Bubba Gump lists all the shrimp.
Oh.
Because like it's like this cookies, that cookies.
Yeah.
there's so many of all the sections. But let's see what I can do.
You ready?
Okay.
When you get your when you say your first one, that's when we'll start
Okay.
counting.
You gotta have the finger ready. I don't need to concentrate on two things. Come on, Rayvon. Okay. Haze, Neville's haze, Band-Aid haze, purple haze, blue haze, Ghost Train haze, Kush, OG Kush, Master Kush, Pink Kush, Triangle Kush, Triangle OG, Miami Kush. There is, let's go on to the cakes. Ice cream cake, birthday cake, wedding cake, frosted cake, pound cake, lemon cake, moon cake. There is cherry pie, lemon pie, key lime pie, banana cream pie. There's chocolate pie. There's moon pie. There's Girl Scout cookies, Thin Mint cookies, platinum cookies, platinum GMO cookies, GMO, lemon GMO. There's Huckleberry cookies, platinum Huckleberry cookies. There is ATF, GG4, GG5.
There you go. You tied me. You tied me. That's crazy.
I got 37, bro.
You got 37, right?
I got you at 36.
Oh,
man.
36?
I don't know, bro. I still don't believe it, bro.
You got
And the
37.
autoflower
You got
versions of all of
37.
them.
Bro, yeah.
Yo,
That was great.
got
I love the
somewhere
strategy.
between 36 and
36,
38.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Bro, Bro, that was amazing, bro.
Yes,
I
sir.
love the strategy, bro.
Oh, shit.
He started with the hazes, then he went to the
Show me
the
nuts.
cushes.
I forgot the skunks.
Show me those.
Show me nuts.
And the gelatos. I didn't even get to the
didn't
gelatos.
get to
There's
the
so many
gelatos, bro.
gelatos.
You should see his notes app.
Yeah.
Yeah, where did I put my phone?
Oh, so you wrote them all down first?
Worse than that, I recorded myself with them all
Dude,
written
that's
down.
amazing,
and I just
bro.
been sitting there listening when
that's
I've been
why you-
working out, and I just hear my voice being like, Platinum Kush.
Bro, that's how you
GMO,
become a champ. That's how you become a champion, though,
That's how
bro.
you do
That's
it,
you know what I'm
bro.
saying. Like you got a repetition, bro.
I don't know where I
That's
put my phone,
admirable.
but it's there.
You definitely beat
I
the
fuck with that,
three.
bro. Yeah, that's Lauren.
Oh my god.
I had to do my thing.
Yo.
Yeah, that's mad funny, bro. No, that's great, man. Kyle, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you for taking this serious.
Yeah. In fairness, I do like I did before even you told me this. I did time myself a few times, and I got about 30 the first couple of times without trying to like look anything up.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I've got to beat Ray Vaughn. I've got to beat him.
But it's weird though that we don't actually know the number. Was it 38? Was it 37? Was it 36?
It was more than 36. It was 36
I thought it
or
was
more.
36, bro.
I counted 80.
Yeah,
Nah,
I
for
got-
you definitely hit 37. It's Ray Vaughn whether he hit 36.
Yeah, I gotta go back.
You gotta go back, bro. Yeah. No, that's cool.
Oh boy.
All right, so for our internet viewers, we're gonna get into the second half of our show here with Kyle, and yeah, I think we're good, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
What up, y'all? You're now listening to Infused Influence, where we're infused by weed culture, cannabis business, and its politics through conversations with special guests. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
We are back in the Major Bloom studio here with Ray Vaughn and a special guest. What's up, Ray Vaughn?
What's going on, sir? How you doing today?
How are you, bro? How are you, man?
I'm gonna go 7.6.
Okay.
Crazy,
jump.
I'd go higher when someone ties or potentially beats my record.
He
in a
beat you,
game.
bro.
We'll have to find out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know, Mr. Kyle, man. I don't know.
We have to do an official review, bro.
Yeah, you feel me, bro? I don't know. We'll have to get a referee in here.
We're not sure all of those are strains or something like chocolate pie. What?
Yeah, I don't know. Pound cake sounded kind of crazy to me. I don't know.
Let's see what Leafly says.
You feel me? Shout
Well,
out to Leafly.
I don't think it's the. I mean, I think every strain that you both said was valid, whether or not Ray Vaughn actually got to
Got
30.
36,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
37.
Yeah.
6, 7. We'll figure it out. But as you guys can see, we've got our special guest Kyle back in the room.
Kyle's
What's going
back.
on, Kyle?
Thank you.
He's a champion, bro.
Of course, he actually is a champion. We should raise his hand and say,
One
"Thank you."
of three. One of three. One of three. That's the story of my life.
That's comical. So, for the listeners who missed last week's episode, Kyle is a cannabis wholesaler in this industry. Kyle has worked in the industry for a handful of years now. He currently works at Canna Live Genetics, selling queer cannabis. He is unapologetically himself. We call him Suspenders sometimes, and by we I mean the people at the store. They'd be like, "Hey, Kyle, Suspenders, Kyle's here." In fact, I think that's how people should save their your name in their phone at MJ BizCom when they
Kyle.
meet you, Kyle Suspenders.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of white Kyles in this industry.
Oh my God, tell me about it. And then you gotta sniff them out. Are they the cool Kyle or are they the wall
The
punching
lame
Kyle?
Kyle,
Ooh.
yeah. So we're happy to have Kyle back to chat more about his experience with cannabis. I would love to get into your cultivation techniques and theories. You mentioned teaching people how to grow from home, teaching people how to grow in their own tents. He's even mentioned to myself he's got to come over and teach me how to use a tent.
Oh yeah, your mansion.
my man
How's
cave.
that going, by the way?
Pretty good. I got it insulated. I got 2 heaters in there.
Space heaters?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Heater going on right now.
Yo, that's
'Cause,
wild to do.
Just preparing for your return.
Oh, absolutely,
that's
absolutely, absolutely, bro.
Gotta get back to hibernate.
Yeah, need it. And so Kyle was like, bro, we gotta get you learning how to grow. I think I told Kyle that I was going to Green Heart in Brockton to buy some weed, and he was like, bro, really? And I was like, yes. And he was like, nah, we just gotta get you growing, bro. You don't gotta go buy weed anywhere.
That'd be smart, actually.
It would be. And so what led you to get to that point?
Again, it's that shameful aspect of like cheapness, really, more than anything else. It's like, oh man, because when you find out like in a 4x4 you can pull down like 2 to 3 pounds pretty easily, it's like, wait, I'm sorry, how much weed did you say? And when I started growing it, even if you didn't do a good job, it didn't matter because it was still during the illegal days where it just like it doesn't matter, it's weed, it doesn't even have a name yet, it was just weed, and it was just phenomenal when you get to be that guy who shows it to a party and you've got like a ball jar of keef. And some people are like, oh, what? I'm like, oh, do you want this whole thing? You want to smoke a little? You get it's some way to get my awkward ass into the parties at all sometimes because not everyone was down with suspender, Kyle. And but yeah, I started learning to do it in a lot of different ways. And when I was growing, because it was the illegal days, it's like, well, when I was home, I'd have to like trek into the woods. I'd have to like find the middle of nowhere woods, surrounded by thorns, difficult to get to because you didn't want other people finding it.
Yeah.
And like guerrilla grow style, and like you go out there and you set up all the nutrients and this and that. You've got some small plant, and you've got to go back like every day for a couple of weeks. Just so started getting it. My mom's like, "You're going for a lot of hikes." I'm like, "Sure am." Got to bring
Where was this?
This was in Medway.
In the middle of the woods.
Middle of the woods, and like surrounded by like prickers and hornets and like all kinds of like crazy and poison ivy and all kinds of crap. And it helps because then nobody's coming across it. I started doing a lot of that and a lot of growing for other people, with other people who wanted to do it, who like have their own house to do it in, or who wanted to do this. And I
What year was this for reference for me?
this was 2000 and it started like with the Gorilla Grow like 2005, 2004, something like that. But it was that was the early days. It didn't really start getting serious till around like 2009, like towards the end of my college time, when like 'cause the plants I grew were all these sad little, like I didn't know what nutrients did. I didn't have time to learn that or ask questions and get found out by like the horticulture guys. That was the days where you go to the hydro store, you change your car multiple times still, so that because you're paranoid that someone's gonna follow you back to get your sad little plant you got an ounce on.
Dude, I remember being reluctant to look things up on the internet that had to do with weed around that time.
Oh yeah.
Even like 2010, dude, it's still a little sketchy, even though we decriminalized in 08.
And even just trying things you read, like I remember reading for people making edibles about decarboxylation, heating it up beforehand in the oven, turn the THC to THC, etc. But at past, I'm like, you don't need to do that. You just throw it in the butter and just cook it extra long until it tastes nothing like grass clippings, and then that's fine.
So you learned to decarb before?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You learn all those things because it feels like people promise it online, and it's someone that you follow, like the old Grass City forums, and they'd be like, "No, this is the way to do it. It's much better." And you're like, "Okay," and you put an ounce in there, and you're thinking like, "Oh my God, this is like $200. I might be able to waste." And like you're a student, you're all frustrated, and then it comes out awesome. And then you learn, and so like it was like a lot of stuff like that with reading something on the internet, trying it, but only from someone I trusted, etc. And it just kept growing until I was finally helping like some other operations and doing like kind of trimmigrant stuff up to Maine and going up there, and just a lot of like the illicit side stuff that we can't really talk too much about. But it was just a lot of practice. It was a lot of reps, a lot of learning plants, and I just kept going. So at home, it became like such a passion. Because also when you're cultivating at home in your own space and you're able to spend that time on the plant, you're not like rushing out to the middle of the woods hoping you aren't seen. It's cathartic. It's very zen. You feel like exactly how the plant grows. You're training it and all the little things. It's very relaxing. That alone is like a medication, just taking care of the plant.
So when did you start growing at home?
That would be
probably the year you could legally, right?
Yeah, like it was medical. It was the early medical days.
12, 13.
Yeah, I was living in like Brookline at the time, so I had to be like I went crazy on the smell. The carbon scrubbers, make sure nothing would smell, etc. And even had one just running in the corner of our place because so that we could smoke and our neighbors wouldn't be all mad at us too. Like that kind of thing. And that was like indoor in my house, but at that time I had still done the trimmer. I'd done large operations at the time, but I was still so nervous about running like a 600 watt HPS out of my house. Like the electric cost too, is it going to balance? And it started changing over. I worked at a hydro store, New England Hydroponics. No longer exists, sadly, at the end of this year. And it, learned from a lot of great growers that were there. It gave me so many lessons and things to grow. And I started trying all the different ways because you get samples, like how you get samples of weed here. Someone will come in and be like, "Oh, try these joints from so and so." Same thing would happen with nutrients at the hydro stores.
Right.
So I still have like thousands of dollars of nutrients in my house that is like 5 years old, but they're all like the powdered form, so they're probably shelf stable still. So like I just would go through them and try out this thing in hydro and then this thing in soil and this, and I try to learn like the best of it because you'd always hear the rumors. Oh, this new product? This is how it's so much better. Oh my God, the weed grown with Athena. Oh, the weed grown with this or that. And you learn really fast that nutrients are nutrients.
Right.
Like it just finds out what works for you and your setup. It's like the same problem when people started growing with LEDs and they tried to grow like it was an HPS still and keep the temperatures the same, the humidity the same, all those things. But like they changed a big factor and they'd have a bad grow and be like, LEDs suck. They can't yield. And it's like, all right, well, you need to run this at like 82. You need to do like a lot of little changes. So like it's always situational.
Right.
And so that's my whole thing, like with why I want to start getting you going, Rivon, and why I want to do that podcast about teaching people to grow.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick.
You got to go into someone's house and see, like, what's your floor? Oh, you got carpeted floors. That's going to be different than if you got hardwood floors or linoleum floors in here or something. We got to do, oh, this thing's up where your kid could get at it. Ooh, can't do it here. Or we'd have to lock it up or put it into like some kind of special. But there's so many things you got to think about that are so situational to everybody. And it just, that was my thing. I loved it. I love telling other people to do it themselves and seeing that great moment when they're like, hey, this ounce cost me $5.
So we're gonna I have a question for you, bro. Just because there are so many opinions on the right way to do things. So it's probably like a two-part question. Like, what is the method that you guys are using now to scale a commercial operation, and then like, what do you recommend for like people that grow at their crib? You know, in terms of like,
Gotcha.
I've seen no-tills at cribs. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I barely see them in the space.
Yeah, so in our space, when I came in with Todd, he had a grow flow hydro setup. So like the water is in a giant tank, and then it flows out to all the plants, and then it comes back, and you add in nutrients as you go, etc.
So no medium, just the water.
No medium, just rocks.
Just rocks.
Just rocks. So clay pebbles and stuff like
Gotcha.
that, which is great because then we can still reuse the majority of the clay pebbles after each run. We can just clean them off really easily. We're not spending too much on some mediums and stuff like that. It's a great system. Hydro absolutely crushes it when you dial it in. Way bigger yields, faster generally in hydroponics than soil and etc. But I mostly grow and I try when I can to encourage people to go the regenerative route because the whole idea of it is
In layman's terms, what is regenerative, bro?
regenerative Korean natural farming. They have this and that. It's a very organic way of growing where you use the same soil over and over again.
Oh.
You don't keep buying more soil.
Yeah, that's like no-till, no?
Yeah, yep, that's no-till.
It is no-till.
No-till
Oh, okay.
is regenerative. So there's so many
Gotcha.
terms for it, and there's this and that version of it, and there's so many subsects that you can go down. It's an endless rabbit hole. But the good idea about it is you're using less. You're buying less things and inputs, and you're making them yourself. So like when I make microbes for my grow, I can like take milk and I can do this whole way to get lactobacillus from your milk that you bought from a store, and that adds the lactobacillus to your soil, which makes a lot of your microbes, as opposed to then going and buying some $60 bottle that may or may not have those microbes active. So you do a lot of that stuff at home. You know, all the food that you eat, you can turn into compost. It's about using less and getting better results every time. It improves the soil.
Yeah.
It's called regenerative because it makes the environment better year over year. And it's actually, and not to get too tinfoil hatty, but this is like one of the big solutions for like climate change and for capturing carbon. That's why I'd love to see that. I want all the commercial farms to do that because they're some of the biggest polluters. Is to do that, and it actually puts carbon back into the ground, and it makes things better. You start seeing life, and even just doing it in my home, I've seen massive improvements in life into my backyard and all kinds of different plants, things growing thicker, lusher, better every time, more flavor. And that's great. but not everybody can do that at home. So I can't necessarily recommend it.
So the question is,
Sorry.
no. And, I mean, you bring up a great point, and for our listeners too, I hope that we can dive in and maybe just kind of like explain this a little bit more. Because from a business perspective, I understood that you guys grow with hydro. I don't think I've ever been in a facility that has no till, and you explained that the regenerative is the way to go. And the question is, why why isn't that commercial scale? But we're going to save that until after our break. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll take a quick break.
You're the boss.
This is our final 14.
Okay. I'll get to the point.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us through the break. This is Infused Influence. I'm your raspy voiced co-host, Rayvon. I've got my co-host Ulysses with me, and of course, a special guest, Mr. Kyle Hamilton.
Yes, indeed.
Mr. Suspenders.
Mr. Suspenders. Mr. Suspenders is my father.
Wait, does he wear suspenders then?
No. My dad's a lot cooler than I am.
You should actually say that. That's hilarious. For those who missed the first half of this show, we just left off on a cliffhanger of a question as to why larger scale growers aren't using, regenerative soil, or using regenerative properties, using no-till soil. And why is that, Kyle?
I would say it boils down to two main reasons, really. One, more than anything else, it's Massachusetts has a limit for microbials in its end-up flour. It has to be 10,000 ppm or smaller. And many people, when they, at least the CCC, when they set this up, they thought like, well, that's good. We'd have it more strict, have less contaminants in there. But like when you do regenerative and you do a lot of organic flours, just because it has microbes in it doesn't mean it's like aspergillus and it's harmful. It could literally be bacillus and it's like yogurt. There are good microbes too. And so that's like a big chunk of regenerative organics is having those microbes getting into your system, etc. But in no-till, it can be a problem with getting all those microbes up there, depending on a lot of things with your environment and how you're doing the no-till, and like how messy you are, and like versus how clean and organized you are with it. So part of it is that, which stinks. And I wish Massachusetts had a higher ppm limit, but then could specify. I don't know what that is. Not specify, but like test for if it's like, oh, is it botrytis and powdery mildew, or is it like, indigenous microorganisms of a kind that are not harmful at all, But the other half of that, and I'm sure this is why all the no-till people generally flex on each other when they're like, oh, I grow no-till, I grow regenerative, it's pretty great. And it's because it's hard. It really takes a lot of reps. It's very antithetical to normal cannabis cultivation. Like when you grow with nutrients in a hydro system, you have like, okay, I need to add more calcium. I take from the calcium bottle and I take X amount and I add it in. And then the next day, the plant, or even in an hour later, you can see the difference in the plant. No-till, you don't feed the plants, you feed the soil. You feed the microbial life in it. And by doing that, it uptakes to the plants. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. Some people will disagree on like whether to use worms or to use this type of cover crop or that. There's so much nuance. And the people who do it, like Tower 3 crushes it. They do so well. They do the no-till. Yeah. You gotta check them out. They're just beautiful.
We got.
Dude, I haven't been there. I gotta respond to Mike like after this. Actually, we got some stuff coming in soon. But I went there about 2 or 3 years ago down in Taunton while they were still working on like the expansion. So I've actually been chatting with Mike about going back post expansion to see it because. Yeah, it was really nice.
Shout out to Tower 3. Let's clap it up.
Bro, let's do it.
I feel like every time that we bring up like good cultivators, they're always
brought up.
Oh yeah,
always brought up.
Who else does no-till in the market?
There's a few others. I believe Local Roots does some. I think but not like everything. They've got a few different grows, I think. And watch, I'm going to say all this stuff and then get some angry message. Be like, no, they do that.
I know.
There's a few. And
growers are sensitive, right? Just like weed smokers are, bro.
Yeah.
Very sensitive, opinionated.
And there's some people, because the expectations when you hear no-till and regenerative is super flavorful, really like broad spectrum cannabis. And some people don't do as good a job. Right. And like if they don't, and it doesn't do what the hype lives up to or what the marketing or sales guy promised, then it's a big disappointment. And you can go very wrong with it. I've had some no-till that just look like some just cheap beasters, just awful crap. and
It's
it
very
doesn't.
hard to sell.
Yeah.
It's very hard to sell.
it
Your
doesn't-
team looks at you and says, "Yo, Ravon, what the hell?"
Yeah.
And you got to say, "Well, this is this," and then they say, "Well, look at all these eights. They all look the same. They all smell like hay." And I'm like,
They all smell like hay.
"All right, man."
Yeah.
But
Just because you can do no-till also doesn't mean, like, if you do everything right in the grow, doesn't mean you dried and cured it right. That's
Right.
this whole other art form. There's all those things that go into it. So, like, a big facility, they can't take that risk necessarily. And so it's a lot harder to get. And so the people who are doing it, I applaud them. They're kicking ass with it. They're working their butts off to do this theory of cultivation that would help save the planet. There's so many good things about it, but unless they really do kick ass with every aspect of it, then they're setting themselves up for disappointment. And that's when you'll hear people be like, tried the no-till, it's bullshit, I just get the 30 whatever percent, whatever's cheap, it all hits the same. And it's because they bought like some really old or like from one of the brands that doesn't do a good job, and then they associate that with it for whatever reason. And like and there's even cultivators who will start doing no-till, they'll love it, but the yields, because they're not really super good at it, the yields aren't necessarily going to be as big as like hydro or some of the other easy things to control. Like a hydro setup is very, very systematic. You can follow a basic SOP and just boom, 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 and crush great weed. But like not necessarily when you go with organics. And a lot of things can go wrong with organics too. Like, oh, did you get someone accidentally brought in the wrong bug, or something like that, which can happen to any grow, but like, I don't know. There's so much nuance. I'd have to talk like another 20 minutes. I'm sorry.
There is. So another thing that came to mind in terms of greenhouse, we talked about the different type of lights that you can use, and then outdoor, because even with no till, you could grow under different lights and get different weed. You can no-till and use the sun too, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Right, outdoor.
Anything.
Yeah.
Light is light, and nutrients are nutrients. You can grow with whatever style partnered up as long as it works to dial in your environment for it. So like some people who wanted to grow no-till, I'll still now tell them like you should get an HPS, and they're like, Kyle, that's such a waste of light. I'm like, you're growing in this frigid ass basement. There's no heat down here. It is so cold. You need the heat from this light. Otherwise, you're going to spend more on electricity warming up your room. Or if you get LEDs, you have to set them up in a way that blows the heat down or something. So like there's so much nuance to it, like with what people should do, but the results can vary with everything. The same exact grow LEDs will taste different and look different than under an HPS versus sunlight, even if they have the same nutrients, and they can all have, strain specific. Some strains like this more. Some strains do better this way or that. And so it can get really competitive and funky. Yeah. There's certain strains I won't grow outdoors because it's like, oh, it makes colas the size of 2-liter Coke bottles, and we're here in Massachusetts where it's a little wet and cold and terrible at times out of nowhere. So it's mold country out here. If you grow some thick flowers like that, and you don't have all the other stuff prepared and all these things that you've worked on, and the strain's not mold resistant, like you're gonna lose your whole harvest. So.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, so I gotta ask, what's your favorite strain?
Let me pick out of the 37 that I just mentioned.
Right, yeah. I want to know,
No,
in terms of smoking and growing, because it seems like you've got to see a lot of different strains grow.
Ooh, okay. So I gotta be honest, and don't laugh too hard, but one of my favorites is actually one that we have at work. The Grizzly Goo, absolutely phenomenal. It was bred for social anxiety and body pain, and like it does exactly that to me. It's an indica that's got like 1.5 of THCV in it too. So you get that, like the THCV is like the cup of coffee, right? So you get heavy ass indica body high, and you have the energy to still go do stuff. So like I love that strain. I like it a lot because then I can go into a crowded bar and not feel the anxiety of everybody around me. So I love that strain from work, but from a non-one from work. Oh, I'm very partial to Tropicana cookies and bubblegum. Those two strains, I mean, if you get like a good bubblegum, that's like, it's just such a fun giggle experience, and like you have a good time. It's super great for social anxiety. talkative, like, because I need help with that. And those kind of things. I like a lot of the fruity stuff that tastes like a white glass of wine, where it's just like a little sour, even they get some
Ravon
Tropicana.
loves fruity weed.
Yeah, I love it.
I want to see how this smoke session goes.
So it's actually funny because I'll be smoking with Kyle and I'm like, what is this? Like, I think one of the last times we spoke to was something pineapple-y.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, this is like
Yeah.
towing the line of where I want to be, but not there.
That's that new strain we're working on.
Comical.
Ravon, have you ever hit anything and be like, nah, this ain't for me?
Yo,
Oh my
so
God.
this happened to me last week. I had a Friendsgiving, and I was chilling on my show with my boys, and I hit it. I'm like, and it immediately passed. I looked at my friend. I was like, yo, what strain is this? He passed me a bag from Resonate. It said orange lemons on the bag. I was like, nigga, don't pass me this. Do not pass me
What,
this.
you were home?
I was at the crib.
Why
and-
he's got a bag from Resonate, bro?
Well, my boy from Brockton bought it. Must have bought Resonate Bud in Brockton.
Oh, I got you.
And so I looked at the bag. I was like, bro, orange lemons. I knew it. I knew it was something fruity or citrusy. Get it out of it. Like, just get me in this
Get it out of
rotation.
here.
You feel me?
He's like, I got my own brother's leaf and
Oh,
my own.
brother. I am typically always prepared to smoke my own blunt whenever I go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind passing, but if I gotta like not smoke the spliff and just I gotta spark my own blunt, I gotta spark my
He'll
own
touch
blunt.
it once, bro. And then...
Well, I always look. I'm like, yo, is this spicy? Or like whatever the term is at the time. 'Cause, yeah, it's not it.
No, that happens. I feel like to everybody's got to have some strain where they're like, "Oh, thank you very much. I don't want it anymore." Like,
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I had friends look at my ashtray like, bro, that's a whole blunt. I was like, yeah, it didn't smell too citrusy when I rolled it, but then I took a hit.
Bro, you're such a snob,
Dog,
bro.
dog. You don't understand how annoying it is to have to go back in the house and roll a new blunt. Like,
then you just share it, give it to somebody else. Like, you're like, hey, I gave you a whole blunt.
yeah, they see it in my ashtray like, bro, can I hit that? I was like, absolutely, just don't pass it this way. Like, do what you want to do with it. So that's comical. In fact, you know what? If you could make your own strain, what would it be?
Oh, I've joked about this a lot. I think I must have told you.
I feel like we've actually talked about this.
I want a
years
strain
ago.
called Auntie Kisses. And I want it like a super duper sour because like I
the
want it
fact
so
that
it
you
can
started with the name.
start with the name,
Yeah.
then decide the effects. This is dream world. So like I want something that really gives you that heavy mouth pucker that. And that's why I call auntie kisses because it's like how you kiss your aunt, like, okay, hi.
Yo,
love
you're
you.
wild, dude.
And so something like that I think would be really fun. But
What's the effects? Well, just the.
it makes you put up with family.
Okay.
Very patient, quiet.
It's great for the holidays, bro.
Great for the holidays,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
Makes you agreeable. You're like, oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. Green Wednesday deals for Thanksgiving Day deals.
Auntie kisses, bro.
Auntie kisses is crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, so how would one go about that, though, bro?
I would, if you're looking for specific flavors, that's a bit easier to grow than necessarily if you're trying to do the whole 9 yards. Like the master breeders who like need the resilience to this and the yield and the build and like all those things, that's a whole other ballpark. But if you're just breeding for flavor, you can just keep crossing things that have like a strong enough intention. Like this one's super, strawberry citrus, and this one's got like a sour diesel that's got that real like sour up front. Maybe if I combine them, and then of course you got to hunt through all the phenos and find what does what, etc. And you can keep just taking stuff and breeding it, or even breeding it with itself. So you can just use colloidal silver, and you can spray down a female plant. It'll put out male flowers. It'll end up doing. That's how they make feminized seeds. It's a lot, I know.
I had no idea you can spray hermaphrodite spray.
Yeah. Colloidal silver. It's awesome.
What, dude?
Yeah. It's
Well,
a-
how do you cross though? We got like 2 minutes. I'll draw a blank. Like I know this, but I don't know it. I guess.
All right. So first you light a candle. You put on some good music. No, you just take if you got a winter male and a winter female. Sometimes you don't even need that. You can just buy the pollen or something from somebody else. But no matter what, you're gonna need probably one female, and you hit it with the pollen. Probably, I think most of the time it's like 3 or 4 weeks in the flower. I could be wrong. You hit it with a bunch of that, and it starts forming seeds. And like in a 2x2, if you pollinate like a single plant, like in a tiny little tent, you can get hundreds and hundreds of seeds from it. And like I actually love that. I collect a bunch of seeds from like people who get them outdoors or in bagweed or this or that, stuff that I don't care about, and I'll put them in a big jar. And when it comes to be spring, I want to go around and like Johnny Appleseed it, like put in all my friends' planters. Like Ravon, you have me over there. All of your plants are gonna have weed growing out of them. I promise.
This lawn is gonna be taken over.
That's
This is more than 12 plants.
Right. I'm like, yeah, that's the backyard.
Oh yeah, the CCC's coming for you because you got 14 3-inch tall plants. Watch out.
I'm like, hey, don't worry, they're all girls.
I've never heard of anyone like. I mean, unless it's like a massive operation, bro.
That's
You know, but like-
that's what they care about.
Yeah.
They're not coming for some guy who's got 6 plants in his backyard, and even if they're huge, they only come because some neighbor's like, it smells like skunk. And, like then you can deal with like the complaints, you know.
Yeah.
That's comical. Well, Kyle, it's been a long time coming getting you on this show. You clearly prepared for it more than I could have expected. Just kidding. I know you. I know what you did for this. We really appreciate you coming by, playing a game with us. We'll have to have you back in like a year or so, talk more about No Till, see where you're at. Thank you for coming by. And to
Wonderful.
listeners, you guys have just
My
been
pleasure.
Infused.